to be able to do that to Drow?
I actually don't. I think the Morphling ban might have been a mistake because Drow Arc Warden are both like this, while Morphling actually has to be in the fray to do damage. So if they're gonna play the whole tankiness, let our Terrorblade be the be-all end-all man raid boss guy in front.
The big win condition. Right?
Yes, you kind of eliminate that by giving them the Drow, because Drow Arc Warden just on paper counter Terrorblade in fights. I personally feel like I was a bit biased in the first game and went for EG despite anything else, and I believe Na'Vi has the better win condition this game again. I think EG's might struggle a little bit more in the lanes this game than they did last time around. So
I completely agree with him, but I have to say that they doubled their win rate on the mid hero. Last time it was 35% win rate Storm Spirit, now it's 70% win rate Kunkka, so
maybe
it might be a
just
little bit easier.
It might just be the storm that makes them look way worse than they actually are.
Yeah, we did laugh about that, but honestly, it was a huge impact. He didn't do anything. It was really not good. So, I mean, you were hyped about the Kunkka, though.
It fit the description of the hero I was thinking. I was just thinking they were going to put the mag mid this game. So, I like both drafts, but I'm going to give Na'Vi a bit more credit here than I gave them last game, even though they haven't looked great this tournament so far. They've got the 5-man again. They did it last game. I think they might do it again.
I would have to say that the Drow strategy is a Drow game is a little bit harder to execute than an Alchemist game, right? Alchemist this is a little bit straightforward. Drow doesn't allow you for way too many mistakes.
Yeah, that's
all right. Well, it's time to stop talking, start talking with casters who talk good. Make game happen. Go now.
Thank you. Slack says, yes, game 2. EG versus Na'Vi, good to go. Modi Pixel joined by Jenkins, and let's see what Na'Vi's able to pull out this time. That game 1 performance definitely coming in all guns blazing. Na'Vi after the laning stage, turning it around and taking things away with the outdrop. One thing though, I think can certainly be said is this time around, if Na'Vi get behind the same way they got behind in the early stages of game 1, they're not gonna they don't have that outcry. They don't have that same comeback potential. They can't afford to fall behind early this time.
Exactly. I totally agree with Blizzard that the Drow just allows for a lot less mistakes, but possibly better at snowballing, and also just it's a good Drow game. The fact that there's nobody to jump her, like the best person to jump the Drow is Magnus reverse polarity. That's a long cooldown, and that's a long shot, honestly.
And lots of these heroes that will really punish if you know there's an attempted jump on the Drow and you don't quite make it, right? Because suddenly you're getting slowed by the Veno, Warlock's conjuring up the upheaval, and you can't back off, and your Drow turns and shoots you down.
Right, and that is definitely a way that things can go south super quickly for EG. I mean, Warlock is arguably the best hero, the greatest hero at counter-initiating some botched initiation from the enemy team. Like, they go a little too deep, you rock, you Fatal Bonds, it's over. It's too much to fight into.
Let's have a look at these lane setups. So indeed, it's time. GPK taking the Kunkka to the mid lane, one of his other classics, and you know, one of these heroes that he can really pop off in farm. The Magnus and the Kunkka, you know, they're these two similar heroes with this early cleave farming ability that just allows you to hit insane farm early on between the lane and the neutral camps.
Well, this is kind of cool what he did too with the Magnus, giving the Empower to Kunkka just to give him that first wave advantage, because they are rotating the lanes. They want to, let's see, where's Arteezy at? Did he TP top? He is, yeah, he's top. He did TP. So yeah, it looks like they're trying to get the Terrorblade versus the Venomancer, which is a fantastic matchup for the Terrorblade because you can just summon a Venomancer yourself and do his passive damage back to him.
And then with that in mind, the bottom lane crystallized and Ilias having to deal with this Ramsey's crit lane. I mean, it's still not a bad lane for Na'Vi, right? You're able to punch back at the Mag?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Magnus almost always is going to be an easy lane to play against. He doesn't really offer that much kill threat unless the support does. And Rubik Mag, I mean, they just harass. And these are two long-ranged heroes, as well as they have the Warlock heal. So they deal very well with slow harass damage.
And overall, I mean, in this sort of game with Na'Vi's draft, is this a game where they are going to have to play relatively fast, get the pressure going on late game, just look at this TB and say, well, Arteezy, he's going to be able to carry this post 40 minutes very easily?
I think so. I think this is a different game from the first one in the sense that EG actually has a lot of damage for the RP. Terrorblade Magnus, even though it really is a ranged hero, still a classic because the Empower on a hero is such high base damage. I mean, it is devastating to have on Terrorblade. So they don't lack damage this time. They have a lot of damage in the late game. So if you're Na'Vi, you want to snowball.
And at the same time, though, when the pushes do come in and Arteezy turns up, there's not really necessarily any straight-up save right from EG. I mean, I guess the Coil can help with the blind and laying down the Will-o'-the-Wisp to try and control the team fight, but if they do get on top of Arteezy, they've got a lot of ways of killing this TB early on, you know, pre-BKB or Manta.
Definitely, definitely. The Drow Silence works wonders on that hero, especially now that you have the Gust talent that gives the blind.
Yeah,
I mean,
50% blind.
That's amazing against the TB illusions. So good.
On bottom, EG have just found an opportunity for first blood here. Ilias, he's going to turn, get the damage out though with the Fatal Bonds of the Shadow Word. Try and set up a Crystallize to find something in return, but it won't be enough. EG able to get that kill, and neither of the two will go down. Crit and Ramses able to stay alive.
Yep, and now they have a double wave coming into them too on EG, so they're really happy with that trade there. It'd be different if the wave was static in front of the tower for Na'Vi, because then they couldn't walk up with low HP, but with the double wave, they're going to get huge down here.
In the mid lane, we're seeing GPK start to take the lead, 18 for 8 against Youngji's 12 for 3, and I guess this is expected, right? Not a lot you can do as the Ember against the Tidebringer harass, and Kunkka's always able to control the wave and set it up for Leaves to get the CS.
Exactly. Any of these physical damage heroes just do really well against Ember mid. Like, we've seen Trolls beat Ember, Kunkka's, you know, it's just, he's all about that magic damage.
Top Immersion, just trying to come in and harass Arteezy. Arteezy actually going to pop the meta in response. I won't be able to kill off the breaker, but again, just using this Metamorphosis to secure CS in this lane.
Convenient timing to bash, because I think when you're TB and you transform like that, you want to get at least a few hits in, just so that way, okay, Spirit Breaker, now when I don't have my meta, he's going to be low. He's going to be recovering, but very convenient bash from that Spirit Breaker.
Actually forming a power rune. He's going to spawn bottom. GPK won't be able to grab hold of it. Immersion coming in again, just trying to keep Arteezy on his toes, make him feel that pressured during this Metamorphosis, so he's not able to consistently get to the wave.
Yeah, this is really nice from Immersion, because if you're a Veno against a TB, especially meta, I mean, you could see right now like what's happening with the level 2 passive on Veno. It does a lot of damage. Like, you want to help your Veno against the TB, because in a 1v1 matchup, I think a TB would actually crush a Veno.
And we see on the CS, this is certainly working out for Pasha. He's able to farm just at the same rate as Arteezy, 19 for 9 against the 18 for 7 up top. Pasha able to hit the creeps more than fine.
Yeah, he's super happy with that. This matchup can go really south very quickly for Veno. GPK, Matt, he is destroying the mid lane. 14 denies.
Top, Arteezy. Actually falling rather low here. Immersion and Pasha going in. The Fairy Fire will just keep Arteezy alive, or will it? The Gale's ticking him down low. It's enough. Perfect. Poison kills him off. Look at themselves a kill on the Terrorblade in this top lane. I mean, as you say, Immersion, the way that he's choosing and the timing that he's choosing to go in and seize these opportunities, it's really messing with Arteezy in this lane.
Maybe this is my off-lane bias here, but I love the skill build from Pasha. Going for 2 points in Gale, because the way that you beat TB in lane as a Veno is not by playing the standard slow harass hero, you kill him. And going for the 2nd point in Gale, it has a lot of... Oh, okay.
I'm going to see this attempt with the boat from GPK, but Youngji able to easily sidestep it. And also avoiding some of that initial damage from the Torrent with the Sleight of Fist dodge. Pressure being put onto Crystallize down bottom. And he's going to be okay. Ilias able to step over, offer up the hill. And farm-wise down in Crystallize, he's doing just fine. 23 and 10 against Ramses here, getting a few denies in the lane. Ramses still able to farm, but not at the pace that Crystallize is. It's a solid start across the board for all 3 cores of Na'Vi.
EG tried to punish there that creep can't pull. Drow is a hero that's notorious for being absolutely abysmal at farming under tower. So a lot of pro players know that, and they say, okay, well, let's punish this. Like, this can't happen. But they couldn't hit the skewer. It was just a little off the mark.
There we go. Looking for another charge, but Flight able to blast him back, put a stop to that one. Which is going to be the case if Immersion isn't able to work his way around the Keeper of the Light somehow. I can stay in this position and stop him from closing the gap on Arteezy.
Just able to TP out. This is the problem with the Warlock Drow lane. Punishable in that sense, but they're not pressuring. Crystallize is farming. He's happy with life right now. He just keeps getting free waves under tower.
And in this sort of game where things are looking to be a lot closer than they were in game one after the lanes, you know, obviously EG taking an early lead in that game one, will we see Ramses go for an alternate build, or do you think he does still go for the Met Greaves first for the team this match?
I think you're right that he will probably go for an alternate build. Okay, GPK with the rotation.
Got the setup, Ramses charging in, the Shadow has started, and he'll crystallize up. Crystallize will turn with the multi-shot. Ramses coming in with a two-man skewer. The X-Mal is actually helping crystallize here as it separates him from Ramses. GPK tries to TP out underneath the tower, but Immersion's able to get him with the charges. GPK will go down. Young G joining as well. The chase will be there on towards Ramses, closing in with the Remnant. He's able to land the chains. Na'Vi responding perfectly to EG's attempt to dive on that bottom as they kill off both GPK and Ramses with their quick response.
Man, they just totally underestimated the power of that Warlock heal. Even with all the spells landing there, it's not enough damage. Oh, Pasha, he just pops the ult.
There's going to be a lot of damage. RTZ immediately has to TP back to base. So pushing him out of this lane as well, Pasha, as Pasha will be able to continue, as we've seen already, to just farm very nicely. As you said, in a lane matchup that can go pretty rough for Venno against the TB. Those early few plays from Immersion really open this up to be a great place for Pasha to be.
Yeah, and he's also making extremely good choices. I know it looks kind of silly when you see, oh, okay, I think you're dead for that, Crit.
He got the rune, but they'll take his life. A kill here for Young G. We saw what Young G was able to do in the last game as Ember. He really popped off. And this time around, arguably having a better beginning here. 2 early kills for the Ember.
Yeah, taking away that DD rune, you could argue that like this is a really solid timing for Na'Vi. They look really strong on all of the lanes, and if he takes that DD and he does go to one of the 2 side lanes, I think they take a tower. So honestly, if you're Crit, you're probably like, yeah, you know what, that's fine. Like that's a pretty devastating rune for him to get, especially after last game.
And we'll see how the state of the game is now for Arteezy. He's just going to go to the jungle, and understandable, right? If you're this Terrorblade, you're not trying to hit creeps on the top lane against this Venno anymore.
Yeah, it makes sense. And even trying to send your illusions into the lane, when the Venno has the levels like this, he can just Gale the illusions, he can just passive them down, and you always have to be so worried about the Spear Breaker charging in and killing you. Honestly, they played this top lane so well for Na'Vi. Like, this is not supposed to be a winning lane, but they made it work.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Immersion hovering around here as the creep wave starts to get pushed in top.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If they want to go for any aggression onto Fly between the 2 of them, they certainly do. Charge in straight away from Immersion, the poison. They're getting hit onto Fly. Fly's going to try and run. Immersion will duke out the final blast. They just continue to play with Fly in the trees. Fly will live, and he'll be held back here for a moment.
He's got his tranquils. He can heal up. Just holding the tower, trying to keep it alive for as long as possible. You know it's eventually going to fall versus a Venno, but if you can delay that for a little while, it means he's not going to snowball on you.
See the setup here around the 10-minute bouncy rune. After EG try and step forward, Na'Vi are going to be ready to fight. The charge on Ramses, giving them the vision. Ramses heads in. They're going to be there straight away with the surprise of the 4 of them jump in. The chains into the silence. The trap was set there by Na'Vi as they catch and kill Ramses.
I get why they're playing GBK and Ramses together down here, because both of this, like, you have Fly up here who's holding the top lane, so he's distracted. Arteezy obviously is farming, and then Crit is trying to get levels. His game has been going not so great, so he's trying to get his level 6. And now he has it, so he steals something. Now he can group up with his team, but for that 10-minute bounty rune, he wasn't there. He was level 5.
And how's this for a Rubik game? Any sort of, like, what's sort of top of the list that Crit's going to be looking out for this match? In terms of steals, is that much available?
You know, Warlock ulti is always great. The Venno wards, that's a big, actually, counter to the Venomancer. Like, this is a hard Venno game. TB's a good lane counter, and Rubik's a good game counter, because for some reason, he gets the passive on the wards as well. Just whatever Venno's level on the passive is, so you steal that spell, and you're technically getting 2 spells, to some degree.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Smokes up from both sides. Flying GPK, trying to look for a catch down bottom. At the moment, Drow is around, but you can see he seems to be aware that something's going on. Crystallizes. He's sticking to the jungle. Same time, Na'Vi's smoke from Ilias and Young G also looks to be unlikely to find anything. They're trying to find this Terrorblade, but Arteezy has already headed over to the triangle and will not be caught out by this movement. So both carries farming in very sensible positions.
It's so funny to see that mirrored. Like, you don't often see that where the exact same thing is happening and then both carries don't get caught because both carries sniff it out. Usually one of them dies.
EG though And this pressure will start to look to find this tier 1 tower. Of course, top lane, the tier 1 already being taken by that constant pressure from Pasha and the Plague Wards.
Radiant's
Yeah, I think if you're EG, you're totally okay with making that trade because you know there's a Venomancer on the enemy team, one of the absolute best heroes, if not the best currently, at holding a tower. So if he takes your tower and then he just sits in his tier 1 safe lane, you never take it, and they just outfarm you. They'll have a 5k gold lead by 15 minutes.
Around the room, Immersion is going to grab that Invis. Young G starting to make moves onto crit. The boat coming out after telekinesis, but Young G's quick to dodge. Has a defensive remnant as he jumps back towards the mid.
Illusion.
As he's out of there. I mean, 5-1 at the moment, still less than 1k difference between the teams. Is there still pressure on Na'Vi with this squad to continue to just look for a little bit more? Like, is it good enough to come out of this laning stage even against a Terrorblade farming away?
I think there's less pressure on them because they know the lanes went so well that they have just innate map advantage in the fact that their heroes are way stronger to just push up. And so as long as they're farming, like you see Pasha's taking this entire top area by himself, nobody's doing that on EG because they can't. Nobody's strong enough to do that. So you do have that advantage, but that doesn't last forever. You have to go kill RT. Na'Vi.
They're on the hunt. They found Arteezy. They're straight in with the charge. There's the follow-up with the jump forward from Young G and the Remnant. They find the catch thereafter. A quick move into that triangle as they know that that's the safe place that Arteezy's been sticking to for the past few minutes, and they're able to invade and kill him off. They're even going to switch over towards mid, see if they can find something else. GPK will turn, catch Young G in the torrent, but the offering's going to be dropped down. Will-O-Wisp front fly will be used to try and create this area that Na'Vi struggle to fight in. They'll turn, they'll kill off the Will-O-Wisp. It's gone, it's out of the fight. Ramsey still trying to lead forward, Chains catching onto him and Fly. Won't be able to find any kills from this Na'Vi. They will start putting pressure onto this tier 1 mid. EG, what can they do to push Na'Vi away? And cleaning out the creep wave. And Na'Vi coming in with a heavy push with the presence of Pasha's Venom. One's out again. Did catch a fair few of them, in fact, here. Got the 3 of them as charging onto Ramses. Ramses goes for the RP. Onto the Spirit Breaker alone. Will secure the kill. But the Nova's out as well as the Gust. They'll turn into GPK. They're punching in with a fatal bomb. CG, they're falling low. They're going to lose GPK. The deep remnant from Young G is able to snipe out the Magnus. Chains onto Fly. Young G setting up for these kills past the tower. As Crit, he's trying to run, but it's another cleanup from Na'Vi. They turn it over towards Fly. They'll claim another. Arteezy turns up, but he's too late. He can't push Na'Vi away from saving the rest of his team. 4 dead on EG. As Na'Vi, they're just diving tier 2s.
Man, that Veno Fatal Bonds combo does so much damage. And one thing that you cannot underrate in this game is that Boat comes out. What if there are Veno spells on you? It wears off.
Look at that, they're charging in on Arteezy.
They see him.
Arteezy's going to need some help. They're respawning back into the game, EG, so we'll see if some TPs do come over. Immersion, just with a bit of a bait onto Arteezy, and they're going to play it safe here. Young G doesn't want to commit any further, knowing that the respawns are there from EG. But, and again, we saw that in that last fight. Young G just reading the perfect opportunities to jump in, get these kills on the back lines. I mean, he's 5-0-3. Last game, he had an insane Ember performance, and this game looks to be the start of another.
Yeah, he's very good at this hero. It's one of those times where if you lose to it twice in a row, you just never let the guy get the hero again. A lot of people are good at Ember, but maybe not so much Void Spirit, and you'd really rather play against one or the other. A lot of these specialty mid players, and man, Ember is definitely his specialty.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, when you look at what he's playing against, it doesn't necessarily look like a super easy Ember game, right? Does it? Or does it?
No, it's the lane is hard versus Kunkka. He's good against Kunkka in terms of Kunkka can never catch him. It's hard against Rubik. Definitely not good against Rubik. And, you know, they have a lot of catch for him. That's the thing. It would be a free Ember game if they didn't have a lot of catch for him, because he does do well against TB and Kunkka in the game, but there's a lot of stuns.
Yeah. And we are going to see the Greaves done for Pasha. Ramsey's build, as expected, he did get the Arcane Boot still, but he's saving up for that Blink Dagger, wanting to have that counterplay, the way to set up. Bottom lane, GPK getting charged upon, the rest of Na'Vi ready to follow up Immersion. TP's coming into the tower. GPK lays down the torrent, will put a stop to the ult of Immersion. Young G throws out a defensive remnant. He's looking to catch GPK, but the boat heading over will stop them. Na'Vi unable to push in anymore.
You know, one underrated thing with the Fatal Bonds is that it actually shows you where somebody's juking. Because you see with the lines and the angles. So they're pinging. They're like, he's here, he's here, he's here. Go, go, go. But, you know, it doesn't matter, obviously.
Na'Vi, they continue to play aggressive. Immersion a little low. He's got the stick charge in the fairy fire. Young G trying to get the slight connection onto Fly. But
Ooh, that was nice.
Slamming down. Oh, Ilias, he's committing. He's going to drop the offering down onto Crit. The Fatal Bonds as well is doing the damage. They've been able to shoot down the Rubik. The rest of EG just backing away now. Those ults have been committed from Na'Vi.
Yeah, surprisingly, that Drow spell didn't really look like it was connecting, but just at the very edge, it was enough. And Rubik, being such a squishy hero, just dies to that.
Radiant structures are
Plus the Warlock Golem.
And we're seeing with these fights and objectives, you know, the difference already in the farm of the cause. Mid lane.
Oh, he's dead, man. He's dead. He's got to go base immediately.
That's like caught him. They might have pushed him over to a point where he would have fallen before the TP was up. He will get away, Ramses. He will live. But yeah, just look how much farm Crystallize has been able to pick up as this Drow. Just being able to turn up to these fights. He's yet to die this game. 3-0-4, and he's still getting some incredible CS. He's over 2k ahead of RTZ's farm of the Terrorblade. They will. They're going to get immersion, at least with that telekinesis. The catch is there. Would have been a little painful if they didn't. RTZ popping the Metamorphosis. He would have hoped to get something, and he does. He gets the kill onto the Spirit Breaker.
So this game is kind of a mirror of the last game, where now Na'Vi, where they're farming, is they're actually taking EG's farm away from them, so that it makes Crystallize's farm even more impressive, because he's pushing up aggressively, and he's taking enemy triangle farm, so it's not only his net worth, he's denying that net worth from RTZ.
Well, RTZ now has the man to complete, so at least some sort of way to play against these silences, these chains.
It's a great Manta game, honestly. This is a big item pickup for him in this game. Takes off the Fatal Bonds, takes off the Warlock heal, the Warlock damage, Drow Silence, Searing Chains, makes it hard for Spirit Breaker to get a charge off, to press his spells, because you don't know which one is real. Takes off the Venomous Gale, takes off the passive from Veno. Yeah, really good Manta game. Yeah. He needed this to fight.
Yeah, no, those bonds in a game where you're playing amongst a Kunkka and a Magnus, and very tanky heroes. You get tied up to one of those.
Yeah,
that's a lot of damage that's going to be sucked up by them and sent over to you.
Especially with magic damage too.
Yeah.
Because TB, if it's physical, whatever. The physical damage is sent through the bombs, but with the Veno ult, like it can kill you with bombs on you.
EG down 3k, but they have managed to at least stop the bleeding per se for now. 3k has sort of held its own. RTZ, we saw with the Mantas, continuing to find spaces to farm. That they're doing everything they can to make sure that this Terrorblade is a very hard target for Na'Vi to jump.
Pasha's trying to pressure with these wards here, but RTZ's actually doing a very good job at sending his illusions to deny these. He can't put up his ward wall, his army. Terrorblade's one of the better heroes at killing those.
I like the build here as well from Young G this game. Maelstrom straight into the Shiva's Guard, getting this armor early on, and of course the active's going to be very nice against the illusions in the team fight.
Regen reduction too against TB, who's definitely going to build some sort of lifesteal eventually. And he probably already has it, but he'll eventually build a Satanic.
They're up the smoke, Na'Vi. Looking, sorry, UG, looking for a catch. They're not going to find Na'Vi though, as only on the top lane was Pasha, but he's actually TP'd over towards the mid to join the rest of the team. Scan out as well from Na'Vi, so they know that EG's around the pit, so that they're going to know exactly which angle EG's trying to approach from.
Rise. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But they saw that it went green. It would have been very inconvenient for Na'Vi if it stayed red for the duration of the scan, and they were just kind of walking by the Roche pit. They know they're not roshing, so they don't have to go check. Very convenient scan timing there. Scan is a weird concept. I was trying to make a video about scanning, and I couldn't really think of any tricks with scan. It's just like, yeah, you just kind of have to know what the enemy you think the enemies are going to do, and you just use scan to test it. But like, how can you teach that?
I just use scan to get the Dota Plus achievement. Get the points for the guild, you know.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. The guild that you kick people from that if they don't get a certain amount of points.
No, I'm a very nice guild.
Oh, you're not.
If you haven't played Dota in a month, you're out.
I mean, that sounds a bit tyrannical, but not slack level.
Come on, who doesn't play Dota for longer than a month?
This is true.
Like, if you're out of the game for a month, you're dead to me.
Kyle.
There we go, Na'Vi. We're going to attempt for the Roshan. And they're going to get away with this. So the EG's not looking to head over.
It's pretty slow, but this looks like the typical Roche bait. You know, you just have the carry in there hitting.
Well, they're a little spooked now, because GPK's headed over there. In fact, going to start pushing onto GPK, force out that BKB very early. GPK pops it straight away, turns with the X mark onto Immersion. Doesn't blow any more of the combo onto the Spirit Breaker, though. So now Na'Vi will be pushed to the side of Roche. And Na'Vi there, not too unhappy to take a fight on the side.
Oh, nice combo.
Youngji still able to jump out for an Immersion. Easy charging on his crit. His crit's low. Oh, comes out for an Immersion. They're taking out the Rubik. Na'Vi now at 5 versus 4. Now he can look to either go back into Roche or try and hunt down more kills with the number of advantage they have there. Yep, they're just going to head straight back to the pit, and Crystallize is going to look to finish this. And EG, a member down. They've retreated entirely. They have no interest of being anywhere near the pit. This is going to be a free Roshan Aegis for Na'Vi here at 22 minutes.
I love this play from Na'Vi. This is a Team Secret classic where you basically just throw the carry into the pit. The scan is obviously going to come up from EG, or there's some sort of vision. So they know that you're in Roche. They have to go fight, and you just set the carry in and say, okay, let's fight then. And the worst thing you can do is send everybody into the pit. So you basically just use Roche as a method to bait the enemy team to fight you. And it worked, and then they get Roche free afterwards.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And one of these games as well where, in terms of farm, we're seeing Ramses in particular really starting to fall behind. I mean, he sort of got the mech, and yeah, he's even itemizing for it with the Midas. He knows that it just hasn't been opportunities for him to hit creeps. He's opted to just stick with the team and just making sure that GPK and RTZ are constantly empowered. As at the end of the day, those are going to be the heroes, RTZ in particular, that is going to be able to take this team on the shoulders and carry it. It is this Terrorblade, it is this big late game hero that can play 4 Protect 1 style.
Yeah, I can understand the no blink. You're playing into a Veno, Spirit Breaker disrupting, Fatal Bonds. Like, there's a lot to cancel a Blink Dagger. And like you said, it's a Terrorblade. This is not a melee hero who's going to run in and cleave. The RP is not that important. It's really just about getting the Empower off on your guys. Your team will go in and start the fight for you. Then maybe you can hit a good RP by just walking in. I mean, eventually he wants to get it, but I can totally understand going for this build this game. Midas, maybe it's a little questionable, but
I mean, it's you know, I think they're saying, you know, this game's going to go late, right? If things go to plan for EG, and you know, this game. I mean, what's sort of the match nowadays? How many minutes needs to pass for Midas to sort of be worth picking up?
Oh man, a long time. It's like 18 minutes or something like that.
That's not too bad.
I mean, but it just pays for itself. I mean, the thing is though, it's really about the XP.
Sure, the levels.
He wants to get to those later talents. Yeah. Maybe get the Skewer talent, the Empower talent, of course, at 25, higher levels in RP. It's not bad. I think it's like what you said. It's basically they think the game's going to go late. They think they're going to play to basically stall the game. So it's like, well, for stalling, do I need a blink? Because we're not going to be looking to take that many fights unless they're really good.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Like you can see, they're just TPing away. Like they don't want to fight this. They're just stalling.
And you can see with the Kunkka's build as well, GPK, he's just building to set up the team fights and make space for RTZ to hit people. BKB straight into the Ags.
Yeah.
Get that Torrent Storm online. You are going to have that massive AoE control all over the place. You know, you get hit by a straight Torrent, Terrorblade starts to punch into you with the Metra and the Skadi. RTZ is going to be able to find those cleanup kills.
Yeah, that's one of those really, I don't think people really understand the strength of Torrent Storm yet. And I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm saying I don't think people understand how good it is, because you don't see it that often.
There we go, a bit of a setup here as Immersion comes crashing across with the charge. Just a bit of a poke, and EG, they are spooked. I mean, it's as you say, you know, EG, they're just avoiding fights right now. They don't want to try and take anything that the Na'Vi themselves brings them, especially whilst Crystallize has the Aegis. They've just got to try and make sure that RTZ can keep on hitting the creeps.
Yeah, typical EG fashion, it is RTZ with the entire weight of the world on his shoulders, and the scary thing about this guy, though, is that he has had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he has carried it before. So you cannot let up the pressure, and Na'Vi has not. They have not been disrespectful at all in this game.
Yeah, they're keeping their foot carefully on the pedal. Pressure in onto the tier 2 mid. Crystallize, not with the whole team behind him though, but we'll see if EG can do anything to punish this. Just the 3 of them is still with a lot of team fight potential. Poison Nova and Chaotic offering good to go, and Immersion and Youngji, they're now on their way over. They've got the 5 of them. Telekinesis will quickly put to an end the charge in from Immersion. There's tier 2 still getting pressured. EG backing away. And looks like they will just let this one go, respecting Crystallize and his Aegis.
Oh, Arteezy's on the back line.
That's a little far out, but again, just avoiding one another.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He considered going in there, but you know, it's
Dire's
immersion. It's like,
middle tower has
this guy
fallen.
kind of wants to get gone on at this point. Do you really want to take the bait? But a few too many bait takings when it comes to immersion this game.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
And Na'Vi just staying in a position where EG struggling to leave the base. They're going to try and come out. Coming up to the timing where that Aegis will be taken away.
The flames behold.
Youngji. Gonna find a change on the turn. The blast coming out already, so Immersion's still able to make his way over with the charge. They're on top of Flyer. The call is dead. Ramsey's just gets destroyed in the combo. Youngji, he's even going to chase him for more. Chains will be removed by the Manta from Arteezy. The boat comes crashing down. Only catches on to Pasha. 2 quick kills then. You're seeing why EG is trying to do their best to avoid these fights, as Na'Vi still have just an incredible amount of jump, and even Ramsey's with that mech. Now he's really falling behind in farm, as we say. You know, this is essentially just a third support on the side of EG, and you feel it when he dies that quickly.
Man, that ward, that Radiant ward by the tier 2 Dire, that is the absolute MVP of that fight. They dewarded the high ground, so they're like, all right, there's clearly no ward here. We can just walk up and take this fight. But it's in this really obscure position. It's like down by the secret shop. EG were not expecting that ward. They thought they were scot-free.
Na'Vi with another good hit. 7k lead now, 14-5. Pressure
Dire's
remains
bottom
on
tower is
EG.
under attack.
There's Immersion. He's going for this charge onto Crit. Crit puts a stop to it though. You see Na'Vi just very happy to flaunt their aggression, just showing any signs of EG coming out of the base that Na'Vi are not afraid to run at them and take a strong fight. These fights hard, of course, still with GPK playing effectively with 3,600 gold out of the game. He's yet to invest in the Aghanims, so needs to at least get that done before EG can have a chance of trying to go for a semblance of a fight back into the faces of Na'Vi's own team fight.
Yeah, with that item, they can definitely consider taking a fight. It's a big game changer. I mean, it is a bit RNG. You know, you have to get a little lucky with it, but it's hugely disruptive in a team fight. Like, it's going to hit the Warlock Golem, it might hit the Drow on the back line, stun the Ember, stop the Spirit Breaker. Of course, he has the status resistance, but it's going to keep stunning you with the Torrents. So it is pretty important.
Radiant's
Na'Vi
top tower is under attack.
onto the high ground. Crystallized starting to get some good hits. Onto the tier 3, of course, no Aegis now. So Na'Vi themselves will be a little more cautious. And as much as they need to keep the pressure on, they still most certainly can get away with holding on for the next Roche before trying to really seize that high ground. The time is passing though, and giving Arteezy the farm. Arteezy's farm still in that excellent position, matched to that of Crystallize. When you consider how much Na'Vi's been able to get going for themselves, it just goes to show how well Arteezy is doing to keep up. Full BKB done on top of the Skadi.
It is one of these situations, though, where it is just Arteezy farming, because there are only a few creep waves pushing into his base. Yeah. Oh man, Young G is in.
He is. He's going to get caught out by the X-Mark from GPK. Torn into the boat, but they've got sustain. They keep him healed, and now with the dive in onto GPK. GPK is just dead. 50 seconds now. No, Kunkka, as he invested in the Aghanims as he died, wanting to limit the gold that he lost. But of course, does mean that he doesn't have the buyback. I mean, maybe they just feel Na'Vi, they're not going to actually push up high ground in these 40 seconds. I mean, we'll see.
It is hard into a coddle. I think they also have stolen plague ward still, so not. Oh no, he doesn't have that. Okay, but still coddle.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Magnus with the team fight, and they don't necessarily know that he doesn't have buyback. Like, he was holding on to a lot of gold for a long time.
I like this as well from Ilias. You know, he feels the game slowing down. You know, he's got himself a Midas. You know, he's like, well, if it does go on,
Yeah, I like that too.
around the BKB usage of Arteezy, if he's able to get like Ag's Refresher,
Dude.
like Warlock can just win the whole team fight on his own.
Legitimately, Warlock is. I mean, people were doing Warlock.
He's the late game insurance.
Exactly, dude. People were doing Warlock carry for a while.
Yeah.
Like, the hero is legitimately good in the.
It's in the backpack. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. But he did get a support item first.
Yeah,
He went for the glimmer. He's like,
no,
all right,
to viewers.
Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. All right, got the support item.
Yes, not a naked Midas on your 5. Mid lane, Crit, he's found an opening. He's going to try and lead him with the grab onto Pasha. Will it whisk down as well? Yeah, this fellow's... He's he's gone for. He will get the ult out, so a little bit of a nuisance for EG. As to take the time to kill him, but they will do so. Crit's able to finish it off with the favor. Arteezy though is on the front. They managed to drop the column on him. Arteezy having to use the Sunder. Does manage to find Immersion as a strong target to get his health back up. So EG able to find 2 kills with the BKB starting to run out though. Arteezy's still got to be careful. But EG, I'll be happy with that. Getting in, getting 2 kills for the fight, and not losing anybody themselves. Oh, Crit. Got anything after this telekinesis? They do have to. Oh, RP into the X mark, and Crit with a stolen remnant. He's able to burst Young G down. A bit of a misplay, it felt like Young G there, as he did jump out and then back into that remnant still on EG's side, and EG had the vision. Crit's able to close the gap. And that's a big catch for EG.
I can definitely understand the bait of wanting to go in after your Veno gets such a good ult off. Oh man, they lose Crystallize too.
This is a big fight here for Evil Geniuses. Crystallize caught in the middle. They'll clean up the Drow as well. Arteezy starting to come in big here. They turn over towards Pasha. Ramsey's falling low. Can they keep him alive? No Immersion. He's charged in on this. He's going to try and get his way out. The Scotty's going to start to slow. Crit jumps in with the grab of the telekinesis. The speed of Immersion will get him away, so he will survive. Ramses does fall. But EG with a strong punch back here in this game. Arteezy getting involved in the action on top of the BKB. Straight away, 2,400 gold picked up after that engagement.
Yeah, they are not letting up with the pressure. I mean, I think it's unfortunate Arteezy TP's back. He didn't know it was going to be an early Roche spawn. There's also a DD bot, which they don't have vision of. If they had known that, I think they definitely just immediately go into Roche. And this game looks a lot harder for Na'Vi. I think they're praising their lucky stars that that EG did not get Roche off of that.
Now we'll see if Na'Vi catch wind of that DD. Yeah, they've got the ward down there already. You have Young G heading over to grab that for the next fight.
Oh, Young G gets the DD. Oh, man. That's a lot of damage. Here, Caudle and your Rubik, they are going to melt.
I mean, can Na'Vi just go for Roche? They know that the meta's down.
I think so. They should have their Warlock Golem in about 30 seconds or less. They have the Veno ulti still.
Can EG contest this without the meta? I mean, they've still got the boat, and of course the Torrent Storm to throw out. A lot of ways they can just sort of pop the 2 of them, try and run in for a steal, but could be a little risky. They're going to try it. Smoke's coming out from EG. They start to head over. Crit just with a bit of a poke. In and out with the stolen remnant. Crystallize is going to continue to commit though. Taking down this Roche could do so very safely with the Shadow Word Heal and the evasion of the butterfly. And looks like EG won't be able to interrupt this. So Roche goes into the hands of Na'Vi. Aegis and Cheese, Immersion. Actually charging in. Looking for Ramses. Will be safe now by Crit with the telekinesis, but Immersion, he's still able to get in with the ultimate onto Ramses. The chains follow up, allowing Crystallize to punch in to the Magnus. Not only getting Roshan, Aegis and a Cheese, they kill off Ramses.
Man, Arteezy is doing such a great job pushing out this mid lane with the illusions, though. I think if that happens and the creep wave is in your base, you possibly get racks there. At the very least, they're going to get a lot of damage done on that tier 3.
Radiant's middle tower
Arteezy's,
is under attack.
as you say, the way that he can control the waves is going to be a definite challenge that Na'Vi's got to deal with. Na'Vi also having to deal with the MKB now on this Terrorblade. So Arteezy, if they can create this area, this space for him to stand his ground and fight with the meta, he will tear through Na'Vi's heroes.
Yeah, he's looking pretty scary, man. He is looking spooky. It's feeling like one of those Arteezy 1v5 games. I hate to say it, but that's just my gut feeling, having watched this happen time and time again. But then again, a lot of Arteezy games feel like that. And sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Dude, Mercy, this guy's crazy. He sees a chance to go and he's just charging straight over the map. He's looking for Fly.
Dude, if he gets a solo kill, are you kidding me?
There was like 4 heroes up here at the start from EG. They're all bailing. They're terrified of this space cow. As Immersion, second charge will get put to a stop, but he's just in the faces of EG. They will manage to get away, but I mean, Immersion he's scared 4 of them off alone. Fly, he's still around. Looks like Immersion won't come hunting any further. You show on the map, and Immersion, he's going straight for you.
I love this diving and 1v5ing and just total crazy nonsensical Dota meta that's shaping up. Like this Spirit Breaker, Clockwork going in, Embers going in. Like the way everybody is breaking these late game strats is by just playing insanely aggressive. And it's so much fun to watch.
this game as well. Still in a rather tense position. Sure, EG are down 8k, but they have this Arteezy Terrorblade. They, Na'Vi, unable to get the jump on Arteezy in these fights, and he's able to live through the initial burst and avoid the big team fight ultimates. He's going to be quite the issue to deal with for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's hard to kill him. They need a lot of damage and lockdown.
Oh, Crystallize. What's he doing here? What's he doing here? I mean, he's got the Aegis. Maybe it's a bit of a bait. Can Na'Vi fight back in with the second life of the drown? They're going to drop the carry opening onto GPK and Ramsey. Ramsey just commits with the Arpedo. They caught Crystallize. Now Arteezy just able to stand up on the high ground. Punching into them is 3 dead on Na'Vi. There'll be a buyback from Crystallize, but a buyback for what? That was almost as... That was a bit of a rage buyback, right? That was just instantly bam. Is there any reason for instantly hitting that buyback button if you're the drow?
I have no idea. They can't turn the fight around.
2 other heroes have died. I mean, he did get caught out there, so maybe just a bit of frustration from Crystallize, but that buyback, that's a huge waste.
I gotta say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Arteezy was on the cliff, and that was actually the best possible thing for him. That was such good positioning. They could not kill him. They couldn't get to him. He was a turret.
And now Na'Vi's got to be careful. I mean, EG's pushing in, and no buyback on the drow. If Crystallize dies, it's game's in an incredibly rough position for Na'Vi after holding the lead. But this time round, and as you pointed out earlier, a bit of a reflection of game 1. It's EG keeping their cool whilst down as a team, gathering around this one big old carry, Arteezy's Terrorblade, and really starting to turn this game around.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be another one of those 1v5 games, you know? I hate to be like the gut feeling instinct guy, but I've watched a lot of Arteezy, being a big NA Dota fan, and he's looking in his element in this game. Let's just say that. Like, he's got this game firmly on his shoulders. But we'll see. Crystallize definitely gave them a big win condition by buying back there. It's so obvious what you need to do in the next fight. You just kill Crystallize. That's it, and you win.
They can do that. I mean, we saw twice there in that fight. Any sort of stun onto the drought.
Yeah, he was way out there. It's almost like I want to call the buyback not necessarily rage, but almost like making up for the fact that he got caught out. It's like, guys, we can still fight. We can still take it. Almost like an anxiety sort of situation.
The classic, what do you mean? I didn't die. I'm alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Just ignore that buyback icon. It wasn't me. That's a glitch.
Misclick. Carry players, man.
Ooh, really finding Pasha. Pasha's away. Artsy, he's got a full Daedalus. This man, he hurts.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Ready to carry big time. MKB Daedalus Terrorblade. That's a Monkaress or a Monka W, whatever the viewers are chatting nowadays. It's you're scared of this man. He's terrifying. Now the lead in for Crit. Pasha, he's got a Ghost Scepter. That is a bit of the old counter here to the right clicks of Arteezy, and also has the Halberd. Pasha, he says, you know, what farm? I've got the counter. Goodbye. See ya.
Shout out to Pasha's itemization, because if he didn't have those 3 exact items, I think he just dies there to a couple of Daedalus crits if he's not lucky.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Okay, leveler as well on Arteezy. That is, that's a terrifying one. This base of Na'Vi in a precarious position. They cannot allow Crystallize to die.
The game becomes so easy for Ramses at this point. Just don't stand next to Arteezy. Give him the power. Heal him when he gets gone on. I mean, for everybody, you just buff your boy Artur.
Immersion. They're going to try and charge in here. We're going to have to clear for Young G. Plus the BKB looks to take out Fly. Will be able to eliminate the Cottle before he gets anything out. Fly buys back. Arteezy plus the BKB turns over towards Crystallize. Crystallize glimmered, slides to the side for the 4-star. He'll get out of there. Arteezy still looking for a target. Immersion comes back in with the charge. Disarm as well onto Arteezy, but GPK, he's got the X-Mark Torrent control onto the Spirit Breaker. 1200 damage. Chris coming out from Arteezy. The disarm's there from Pasha. They're controlling Arteezy now. Crystallize, he's able to hit back.
Now that you're dead.
And one thing you got to remember is there's still going to be that incredible strength for the piercing hits from the Drow against Arteezy. All his armor relying on the stats, and that's cut through by this Drow. And Arteezy now dead.
He bought out his Daedalus, so he has no buyback.
No, he's got
okay, he's got buyback.
He's got
All right.
buyback.
He's so rich, he bought out a Daedalus and he's still buyback.
But no meta, of course, for this hold. So we'll see if Na'Vi can push in and punish this window, at least force out the buyback from Arteezy. Na'Vi, an excellent fight from them there.
Dire's middle tower.
And once again, going back to Pasha's items, if he didn't have these items, there was absolutely no way they could kite him.
He messed with Arteezy so
He
hard.
did. Absolutely. They cannot kite him like that. Arteezy was on the back line. He was on Crystallize. But it doesn't matter. He's halberded, off cooldown.
And Pasha's got a full E-Blade, so now he's even able to mess with him even more. He's going to be disarming him, he's going to be E-Blading whoever he's targeting. You know, Pasha, he had an excellent start from the lane, and now he's got the items to work as that hero that really trips up what Arteezy terribly needs to do in the fight. Arteezy's holding onto the buyback, doesn't want to pop it here, and won't need to. It's just the tier 3 going down. Na'Vi won't push on for anything else.
Yeah, they're worried about the Magnus. You know, it gets them out on the map again, and Roshan is respawning soon, so just use this to try to keep your wards up, defend your wards, keep pressure around the Rosh pit, take the next Rosh, end the game. Whichever team gets the next Rosh, obviously, is going to win the game. That's always how it plays out at this point in the game. All about that Rosh. 6k gold lead, doesn't even matter. Whoever gets Rosh wins.
Dire.
The thing is with this farm, I mean, if you are the TB in this game, do you need that sort of plus armor from something? You know, because we did see how quickly he does die to the Drow. You know, the moment he's just got that +3. So 38 of that armor, boom, it's just cut through by the Drow when the procs come in.
Yeah,
But no one can really buy an AC right. There isn't the farm on the other carries. Like would you have liked to maybe have seen an AC instead of the Daedalus, or do you still agree that this is the way you would want to go as the TB, just full in on the damage with the MKB Daedalus?
I think he needed to do this to 1v5, and you need your other heroes to build the supplementary items for you.
Okay.
I think the Mag probably can get an
Immersion. Again, the same area. Immersion and Young Chi, they just start the fight, and instantly they go for fly. Young Chi trying to get rid of the call. He'll do so. Arteezy turns with the BKB, and Meta will kill off the Spirit Breaker. Now looking over towards Crystallize with the chaotic offering. It dropped down. Arteezy is silenced, and again this Drow just destroys the Terrorblade. Crystallize shoots him down. Ramses is trying to clean up, but without their Terrorblade, so much of EG's damage is just wiped out of the fight. Triple kill for Crystallize. And Arteezy, he's buying back. He knows he's going to need to because this push is going to come in from Na'Vi. I don't know, man. It's just without that plus armor, he just dies. He has nothing to protect himself against Crystallize.
And that's the thing. Navi's doing a really great job at focusing the EG supports. They're going for Caudle and Rubik in every fight. They're sending the Spirit Breaker and saying, okay, he's literally dead. He's going to go in, he's going to die, but he's going to get the fight started. He's going to disrupt the supports. Like, they didn't get anything off in that fight. And when it's Arteezy versus the world, he's against Heaven's Halberd, he's against Ethereal Blade, he's against Force Staffs, a guy that has a damn, what is this item? Shiva's Guard. I haven't seen it in so long, I forgot what it was called.
I mean, you're right. Na'Vi is itemized in a way that's really focused. You know, what EG is trying to do with this Arteezy Terrorblade.
Right, counter Terrorblade with the items, and counter the other heroes with the play.
And they're taking racks now. Na'Vi up into the base of EG. The bottom rack's gone.
Dire's bottom barracks has fallen.
This game getting... Ooh.
Oh, what did I just hear?
Oh, that's what we call the BMBKB. It's like, I don't need charges. I'm just going to pop them as I wish. Crystallize swags his way out of there.
Sausage fingers touching two buttons at once. That's always a big issue.
Did you ever watch Salad Fingers?
I did watch Salad
I knew you did. You are...
Do I seem like a Salad Fingers kind of guy?
Yes, you do. And nobody knows what we're talking about.
I appreciate that.
I mean, there's probably some people who used to watch the old Flash cartoons.
Millennials.
Remember, Flash doesn't exist anymore, you know?
No, it doesn't. It's dead.
Flash is dead.
It's gone, yeah.
F in the chat for Flash.
Yeah. Ripping pepperonis. Those were the good days.
Yeah. I'm going to smoke up from EG now against a 16k gold deficit. Roche is up. Don't know if they... I mean, can they try for this? There's no golem.
Yeah.
Could they sneak it, or is it a little too risky? I mean, if they could get a kill to start, Immersion. And he's going to start speeding away.
Na'Vi are being smart about this.
Yeah.
They're playing it real slow. They're letting Pasha get down his ward wall. He's putting wards in the pit so they know that EG is not taking it. It's always so nice to have these late game Roche fights when you actually have something to see.
Oh, and look at this as well. Pasha just going for the guns blazing build. E-blade into Dagon.
Yeah.
You know, he's ready to.
Yeah. It's you know, it's good against the TB.
Yeah.
Just blow him up before he gets under.
Yeah, exactly. He can never sit low for a Sunder. Because he's got to be worried about taking sort of a blast to the face here from Pasha.
Yeah, you don't see it often.
And honestly, with this game going on, if you're Ilias, you're probably like, guys, can we actually not win too soon? He's close. Well, he's got Aghanims and like 3k gold. Like, he's making good progress on the Aghanims refresher as this Warlock with a Midas.
Yeah, this is the fun part as a Warlock.
Yeah.
You're totally
You don't want to win yet. You're like, guys,
no.
can we slow it down? I want to get the double golems out.
And it seriously doesn't matter that there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. Like these
These guys want to drop the double.
Yeah, exactly. You know, these guys love playing the game. He's feeling himself right now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there it is, the first Dagon out. Starting out with the Magnum. Pasha.
Did he buy? Oh no, he didn't buy out. Okay, he's got a lot of money.
Radiant's
No, he's
top
got the
tower
Dagon.
is under
Yeah, no, but he's still got his buyback, I think.
Sure, yeah, he didn't go full crazy and just invest in the upgrades.
Dang it, 3.
Oh, here comes the Roche fight as EG start to try and push them away. Boat down. Roshan getting low. Can EG actually get in here for the team fight though? Ramses. I mean, it's so terrifying. As we talked about at the start, it's a very hard team to fight into if you're EG. If you don't find that jump, they will just turn and shoot you down. And how are they going to get in? You can't get in. Aversion. There he comes, straight on to GPK. The Torrent Storm is out, but honestly, it only hit the one of them. Only one Torrent connects on the side. Jungji's able to get the BKB out. Jumps out with the remnants to get away. Carry off it down to Arteezy. Arteezy is shot as he pops the BKB. He's dying. He needs the Sunder. Gets the Sunder off onto Ilias. And now Arteezy can look to turn. He takes down one. The death ball coming out from Ilias. But Arteezy, he's disarmed. Immersion's on top of him. Pasha's picked up the double. There's 2 then on EG. Arteezy, he's got no escape. He's surrounded. Dead for 2 minutes. Na'Vi, they're cleaning up big time as there's 4 gone on EG. GG is called as Na'Vi will take this series 2-0 against EG.
Man, given how they stopped their heroes completely, I feel like Na'Vi just popped off after that win. I think they're so stoked with that.
A 2-0 victory against EG, and in arguably both of these fashions as well. Game 1, a game where you're behind, you're able to play it cool, come back in the way they did in a ferocious manner that didn't allow EG to do anything in the second half. And in this game, you're able to show that you can sort of, come out even at the start.
Yeah.
You can get ahead,